up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I am back, you guys, with another reaction video. Now this video, this woman, it's a story time reaction. In the caption it says, my boyfriend broke up with me because his pastor told him to. All right, so I haven't heard any of this, but we're gonna get into it. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you like the content. Share and like the video as well, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the video. Make sure you chime in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Here we go.
Story time. My boyfriend broke up with me on New Year's Eve because his pastor told him to. This story is still unfolding. I'm still in shock, but here we go. Me and my boyfriend were together for 9 months. We met in April. We first met on social media and we were communicating for maybe 2 weeks. And then my friends wanted to go out of town and it was his off season. He's a professional athlete. So it happened to be the city that he was staying in. I told him and he wanted to meet and he wanted to take me and my friends out and just have a good time. Me and my friends get to the city and we do exactly that. We meet and it's like something from a movie, honestly. We instantly connected. It was like we had known each other for years. The first night we went out and he was with his friends, I'm with my friends, you know, we could be friends. And in the middle of the night, he had told me, you know, you're gonna be mine, right? And I'm like, literally, I was kind of like shocked because at that point in my life, there was no limerence. I wasn't longing for a relationship. I was very single, but I was very intentional about who I was dating. And I was okay with being by myself. I knew I wanted a long-term partner, but I was very sure that God was going to bring me that person.
Okay, so she initially said that they were together I guess she started from the beginning and they were together for 9 months and then they end up breaking up. Okay, I wanted to be clear because I'm like, she said they was together for 9 months, but I guess she started from the beginning and she's talking about how they met and all of that and gonna lead up to how they end up breaking up. Let's continue.
There wasn't any rush. So when he said that to me, you know, it was very eye-opening because I was always sure that I wanted somebody who knew what they wanted. That's so amazing as a woman to just find a man who knows what he wants. We got together ever since April. After we met that first day, we were inseparable and we were together ever since then. Fast forward maybe 2 weeks after we get together, he tells me that when he first told his parents that we were even DMing, we hadn't even met yet, his dad had said, that's the girl. I work in sports journalism and often games that I commentate will be on TV. So his dad said that one day he was watching TV in the living room and he saw me on the screen and he said, that girl would look good with my son. When I heard this, it made sense to me why our relationship moved so fast, because I just knew that it was God. Like, hearing that gave me comfort, honestly, because I'm never the type to do things spur of the moment or erratic. So me jumping into a relationship with him was not characteristic of me.
You know, and I will say this, and I don't try to challenge people's faith and all of that because I believe in God, but I think a lot of times people get it twisted, and I'm just speaking in general. What people think is God is not always God. It's you. You know, I think a lot of people put God in situations where God was never there. I don't think God is in a lot of the things that people say they're in, because a lot of the times, when you hear a lot of people always saying God don't make those decisions. You make the decision, you move a certain way or you don't. The other person make choices and decisions based on whatever. But I really wish people just stop saying God. Just keep that to yourself, because it's always God when things are going great. When it falls apart and it's no good, you don't hear God in many cases. If this was what God wanted and he set it up for you and he wanted you to be with a certain person and y'all were supposed to be together, then y'all would be together, in my opinion. But I've seen too many, by being in the church myself and seeing this happening. Everybody always talk about God. I knew it was from God, but then you walk away. You knew it was from God, but then you leave the man, or he leaves you, or y'all break up and y'all have a fist fight and it's over. Why are all these situations that are from God never really work out? So God changed his mind? Did he decide in the beginning, oh, I want y'all to get together and just hook up, and then afterwards, oh, never mind, y'all split up, God changed his mind. So I don't know. What I get a little leery when I hear people who say that, because majority of the people who say that, they never stick to what God's plan was. It always falls apart. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
But after hearing that, I just knew that this was meant to be. His parents were in the church. His dad was a deacon and his mom is an adjunct pastor. I'm Catholic and I grew up going to church. My parents made sure to give me a foundation in faith, and my relationship with God is my faith. My relationship with God is what is how I'm okay today, kind of. So I thought it was amazing that he was in the church and that his family was in the church and that they knew God. And so I never, thought that it would ever be anything like other than great. When we first got together, he wanted me to go to church with him. And of course, I love church. I wanted to go with him as well. But he had told me a situation where his ex from college had went to church with him, and his auntie / pastor, and I'm saying auntie because she's not his mom's sister and not his dad's sister. So it's auntie through faith, I guess. I'm not sure. His auntie had said to him, don't do it, to the ex, to him. And that she told him that their relationship was doomed and that he should not continue. It never hit me that that's the reason why he broke up with the girl, because he told me that story to tell me how, sometimes she's prophetic and he's injured this season. And he said that she knew that he was going to be injured prior to the season even starting. Throughout our relationship, we never argued. I mean, we maybe argued about small stuff, but it was never anything huge, never anything alarming. It wasn't a toxic relationship. We were there for each other. He didn't play this season, and I was there for him from the moment that he got surgery to now. And I think that's why this hurts so bad, is because we were there for each other, and he told me that we would be together forever. And I believed it because there was no reason why we wouldn't.
Yeah, I was about to say, she's emotional. He really must have hurt her. She believed that this was going to be probably her husband and they were going to be together, and it didn't work out. And that's unfortunate if that's what she was made to believe. You know what I'm saying? But this is why I say you have to pay attention to the signs and pay attention to people's behavior and what they do and vet a person. You can't just go off of what you think and what you feel and what they say sometimes too. You got to look at their actions. Him saying that his auntie told him not to date the other girl and he listened to her. That means he has a lot of stock in what those people say. He takes to heart what they feel and what they believe, and he'll react upon it. So that could be a red flag, because how, it just, you know what I mean? You gotta think for yourself and do things for what you want to do, and not always listen to what everybody else has to say. But keep in mind, like, use what they're, if they have wisdom and they have knowledge, and these are people that love you and want your best interest, pay attention to it. But at the end of the day, as an adult, you have to make the decision for yourself. You have to know what's best for you and what it is you want in life. You know what I mean? You could take advice from your loved ones, but at the same time, you have to make the decision for yourself. Let me know if I'm making sense. Let me know. Let's continue.
Fast forward to New Year's Eve. Well, the week prior to New Year's Eve, actually, we got into an argument, our first real argument. And I had found out that he was texting someone that he used to date. And I was shocked, and I was very hurt, because I felt like, if you're in a relationship with me, why would you be communicating in that manner with somebody that you used to deal with? But we got past that. We moved past it. He begged for me back, and I took him back. And he promised me that it wasn't going to be a continuing thing. It was the worst mistake, and I quote, the worst mistake that he's ever made in his life. And I believed him. On New Year's Eve, we were not together. He was at home, and I was at home. I went out, and he texted me at 12 when the new year started, and I'm thinking everything's fine. I call him on FaceTime like we normally do. I mean, we were on FaceTime 24/7. We'd fall asleep on the phone. We'd talk all day, tell each other, our dreams, make plans for the future, everything. He met my family. I met his family. It was just great. So,
oh, she's distraught.
On New Year's Eve, on January 1st,
God.
well, actually on the new year, at 1 a.m., I FaceTimed him, and I could tell by his face that something wasn't right. I could tell that he wasn't okay. So I asked him, what's wrong? And I said, I'm your girlfriend, so I want to be there for you. So tell me, what's wrong? And so he's like, okay, call me when you get to your room. So I call him when I get to my room on FaceTime, and he looks at me and he says, this isn't going to work. This relationship isn't going to work anymore. So I'm like, what? And he said the same thing that happened with my ex happened, and that his aunt said that we were not meant to be together, and that we would tear each other apart, and that he would tear me apart. Immediately, I broke down, because to start the new year off like that, for his aunt to tell him that we're not meant to be together, and him to just take that advice and run with it, when earlier that day he was texting me saying that he's counting down the days till I'm in his arms again. I was completely caught off guard.
You know what? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? I can't call it one way or another, because I would need more context. Maybe there was something about her that the aunt saw and realized and were red flags, and she told him, because I find it really strange. And I know, people, like I said, have family members, because the aunt was his pastor aunt, I'm assuming, who she said is not really his aunt, but he calls her his aunt, that, she's influential to him. And I know that people have influential people in their lives that they listen to, and they regard their advice, and they take it seriously. I understand people have people like that in their lives, but I find it strange that you would just take somebody's word just like that. If she's, the love of your life, and you really care about her, you want to be with her, you would just let your aunt just tell you, oh, she's not good for you, and you just walk away. I would assume that there's some other reasons to that, or some other red flags, or maybe there's something else. Maybe he used that as an excuse. I don't know, to not, to make, just to tell her that, and he really didn't want to be with her, because she said she caught him texting and talking to somebody else. So maybe he wasn't fully invested in her as she thought. Y'all let me know what y'all think it could have been in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts, but let's continue.
It's only January 2nd today, and I'm still wrapping my mind around it. I still am confused. I know church to be a place of togetherness. I know God to bring people together, not tear people apart. And I want to know if this is normal, if anyone has experienced anything like this, and what do you guys think? Because I'm not gonna wrap my mind around it too much, because I know that what's meant to be will be, but this situation is extremely alarming. And you think you know somebody, or you're getting to know someone, and you're making plans for the future and in love, so you think, and then for it to just be ripped away because of a dream that somebody had, not even him, a dream that somebody else had. It's really scary and hurtful, and yeah.
This is an unfortunate situation. If it really happened the way she's saying, it is weird and odd. And I don't know, like I said, there could have been a few different reasons as to why this happened this way. He could have been lying to her. He could have not really been as interested in her as she thought. Also, the fact that he was talking to somebody else kind of shows that he's interested in talking to other women. Maybe he had other women and he didn't want to hurt her, and he used that as a way to walk away. I don't know. It could have been some red flags on her part. I don't know. There are a lot of women who get on these social media platforms and they lie about the situation and they only give their part and they don't give the full story. And people jump the gun on their story and then not really tell the full story. And then when you hear the full story, if you ever do, it's totally, you understand why what went down. If we just gonna believe what she's saying, then maybe he just realized he didn't want, he wanted something else and he didn't know how to tell her. I don't know. That once again, I'll say, listen, if you're dating somebody and you're saying you're into them and you want to be with them and you're not really sure about that, stop doing that. Because I don't think anybody wants to be led astray. I just think that's a horrible thing to do to anybody, men, women, whoever. If you want to be with somebody, be with them. Let them be for real about it. Don't play games, because I think a lot of people waste time playing games, and it's unfortunate that people do that. And I just think that needs to stop. So I'm gonna leave it here. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content. Let me know what y'all think of this story. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.